Hey guys, my name is Daniel Risher. I am a first grade teacher at TCNAP, and Paula has asked me to put together this video to go over the Swivl unit, which is a device that you guys will be using to help you record your lesson for your RE-3. It's a big year being an RE-3. I wanted to say congratulations on making it to this point. I know it's a lot of work, but I'm going to do my best to help explain the Swivl as best as I can, and I've shared this video with Paula so she can share it out with you when this is over if you need to go back and rewatch anything, or if you have any questions for me, I can do my best to try to answer them. I'll put my email up at the end of this video. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we want to talk about when we're talking about the Swivl is, what is a Swivl? So a lot of people, myself included, I thought that a Swivl was a camera that I would use to record myself. But a Swivl is not a camera, it's not a recording device. Instead, it's a holder that you put your recording device into. So this is what it looks like, and we'll see more in depth later on, but it's a device that you use to put your camera into. So maybe you're using a smartphone, maybe you have an iPhone or an iPad. Any kind of smartphone or tablet will fit in the device, but the Swivl itself cannot record. It's just a holder for your own device. So another important question that people have when talking about the Swivl is, if a Swivl is not a recording device, why would I want to use it? Couldn't I just put my recording device on a tripod, or couldn't I have a colleague come and record me? So there's a couple of reasons why you would really want to have the Swivl. I don't know about you, but for me, I always found it really uncomfortable having another adult in the room watching me teach, especially for a lesson as important as my RE-3. It just really made me nervous and uncomfortable. And I also found that anytime another adult's in the room, it sometimes distracts the kids and it can change the climate of the room, and you really don't want that when you're doing something like this. So what the Swivl allows you to do is it allows you to have a camera that will follow you around the room. So maybe part of your lesson's at the smartboard, or part of your lesson's going to be at the small group table, or walking between your students' desks. You want something that's going to follow you around the room, and so the Swivl allows you to do that without actually having someone in there. Another advantage to using the Swivl is if you do record a lesson and it doesn't go the way you want it to, or you think you can do something better and you want to do more tries, you can do that with the Swivl camera without having to secure another person to come in and record you. So for those reasons, I would highly recommend using the Swivl. It gave me the chance to record on my own in my room, and it gave me a chance to do it more than one time so that I could put forth my best lesson. So before you can start using the Swivl to record your lesson, you will need to download an app to put on your recording device so that you can link your recording device to the Swivl. So I checked today, and on Apple, the app is just called Swivl. It used to be called Swivl Capture. I'm not sure if it's still called that on Android, but you could look up Swivl or Swivl Capture, and you'll need to download the app, and you can create a free account using your Gmail at work. So it'll give you the option to create an account using your Gmail, or you can use another email account if you want to. What's really cool about the Swivl app is that when you use it to record your lesson, it will access the camera on your phone or tablet, whatever you're using. But then as soon as you're done recording, when you are done and you stop it from recording, it will immediately start downloading your video into the Swivl cloud. So that's great because you're not going to lose your video. It's not going to accidentally get deleted. So that's really important. So you'll want to do that first. So right now on your screen, I have a screenshot. It's just of my backyard, but I wanted to show you what you will see when you open up the Swivl app once you've gone through the process of creating an account. So at this point, this is what I would see right before I record. And what's most important about this is if you look at the top in the center, you will see where it tells me what the limit for how long I can record is, and that depends on your device. So based on the memory that my phone that I'm using has, I could record up to 31 hours and 54 minutes. So that's plenty of time, but they're not all like that. So I remember when I was using a Title I issued iPad for my recording, it would only record up to 40 minutes at a time. So I had to find a different iPad that had a little bit more storage on it that can record for longer. So don't just assume that you'll be able to record a very long lesson. It depends on how much memory your phone has. So what I like about the Swivl app is it will tell you how much time you have to record. So now that we've taken time to talk about what a swivel unit is, why you would want it, and how you need to download the app before you can use it, we're ready to take it out and talk about the parts and how to make it work. So you will need to reserve a time to have your swivel unit, and we'll put some information up at the end of the video, and I'm sure Paula can elaborate on how that will work for you this school year. But after you reserve it, it will show up to your school in a bag like this. And something important to note about this bag is that all the bags are numbered. So this is bag number 2, and everything inside of the bag will also be labeled as number 2, so everything stays together and things don't go missing. So there are a lot of different things in the bag. There's different attachments and wires. You won't need most of them. Most of it you can just leave in the bag. It's probably been in this bag for 5-10 years. And what you do need is this carrying case. So when you open up the bag, you will see this. And when you zip this open, you will find the swivel. So this is what it looks like inside. And this is called the base. So this is the actual swivel itself. And this is what you're going to use to put your recording device into. I will say that in Perry we have 2 different models of the swivel unit. There's a newer model and an older model, and they both work great. They both work just as good as the other, but there are a few differences to note. So depending on which one you get, it might be a little different. So I'm going to show you both. So this is the base, and of course, just like anything else, there's a place to plug in the charger. You just plug it into the wall like normal, and then there are some other outlets in the back. You really won't need most of them. There's one that you might need if you have the older model to connect to your device, but I'll show you that in a minute. So if you're using a tripod, the district does provide you tripods if you want them. So there is larger size tripods like this that you can use if you want, or there's a smaller size. Maybe you can put this on a table. Depending on which one you get, they both screw into the bottom. So if you look right here, there's a hole that you would use to twist this right into, and that would attach your unit or the base to your tripod. I didn't use a tripod. I wanted a certain height and angle to get the lighting that I needed so that it would see my smartboard. And so I kind of made my own by piling up different books. But if you want one of the tripods they have, again, the piece to do that is at the bottom where you would screw it in. So depending on what model of the swivel you have, the next part is called the marker. So in this one, you have to open up the back to get to the marker. It's right in here, and this is where it needs to go to charge. And the marker looks like this. And what you do is you wear this around your neck. So they also come with this necklace piece, and you're going to put the swivel unit in. You need to make sure that the microphone speaker is at the top, because you'll wear it around your neck, and that is how it's going to hear you. That's why you can be so far away from your phone or your iPad and it hears you just fine, because through Bluetooth it will pick up the audio through this microphone. So just make sure your microphone speaker is at the top, and you're going to pair this marker to the base, because this is how it will know to follow you. It's going to follow wherever this goes. If you have a different model of the swivel, I just want to show you one small difference. The marker is in the top and there's no lid for it. So that's really the biggest difference, is one has the lid where the marker is under and the other is exposed on the top. So the next thing I'm going to show you is where you put your device in on the swivel. So at the front of the swivel, you'll see there's a lip right here, and this is where you put your device right into. So I'll show you with my phone. So my phone, it just goes right into there, and it's nice and snug, and I know that as this thing's turning and going up or down, that my phone's not going to fall out. I did have to take the case off of my phone to make it fit, so depending on if you have a case on your iPad or your phone, you might have to take it off so that it fits. If this is not a good fit for your device at all, there are different fits in the bag that you can trade out. So if you need to do that, you just push this over and you can hear it click and it comes right out, and you can exchange it for another one. I have found, and most people I talk to tell me, that the one that was already in there was just fine, but you could change it if you need to. So I just attached it back in, and that's the same on both models. So that's where you're actually going to put your device. Okay, so now we're going to cover how to turn this device on and how to connect it so that you can use it. And I know I've been talking a lot, I'm sorry. The sun has as you can see, it has set in the time that I've been talking, which means I should probably speed this up. So to turn it on, you would press the power button and you would hold it down for a few seconds until the red light comes on. And I don't know if you can hear it, but it is making a sound and it's adjusting into place right now. And it has, as you can see, 2 red lights are on, and that means that the device is on, but it's not connected. It's not paired with the marker or with your device. So now we're going to talk about how to do that. But before we do, when you need to turn it off, you do the same thing. You hold the power button down until the lights go off. So now we're going to talk about how to connect the base to the marker. They need to be connected so that the base knows where the marker is to follow it. So what you'll notice is on your marker, there's going to be 2 buttons. One is a power button and the other is the record button. The record button's really nice because when you're getting ready to do your lesson, you don't have to run over to your iPhone or your iPad and hit record and then run back and get started. You can be in your starting position wherever the lesson's beginning at, and you can hit record and it'll start your video right in place. So that's a really nice feature. But to connect them, all you have to do is turn this on. So you're going to hold down the power button, and when you do, a green light's going to turn on, and you'll notice that on the base, a green light's going to turn on also. And as you can see, it is now moving and it's trying to find the marker. It's going up and searching for it. Now, one thing to know is that this doesn't work well if the marker and the base are too close to each other. There does need to be some distance for it to work. So once they are linked and the green light is on both of these, wherever this marker goes, it's going to follow. So as you see, it's going up a little bit. If I come down, it's going to readjust and go down. And that's going to follow you wherever you go. So if you're getting down low to a kid's level, maybe at their desk, it'll follow you down, it'll go up, it'll follow you wherever you're going. So that's how you connect the 2. So the final step for completing your setup for your Swivl is to connect your recording device, your camera, whichever device you're using. You want to connect it to the Swivl itself. So far, all we've done is we've connected the base to the marker, but we've never connected our camera to the Swivl. So that's the final stage. So this is different depending on if you have the newer model or the older model. So in the newer model, this is done with 1 wire. There's a wire that plugs into the charging port on your phone or tablet, and then in the back it plugs into the port that has the Bluetooth label. So ideally what this does is it connects the audio microphone from your phone or tablet to the Swivl, which is then connected via Bluetooth to the marker. So this wire, in other words, it's what makes the microphone work from far away. The other thing it does is it connects the phone to the Swivl. Now, this is supposed to be done just on its own by putting in the wire. Sometimes that doesn't work. I don't know why, but sometimes you have to go in and connect it through Bluetooth regardless. So if that's the case, you would just do this like any other connection to Bluetooth. You would go into your phone or tablet settings, pull up Bluetooth, and then you would hold this plus sign button on top of the marker or the base for about 3 seconds, and then it would connect to Bluetooth. And then you're done. That's all you have to do for this. Now, for the older model, it's similar but a little bit different. You are definitely on the older model going to have to connect via Bluetooth using your phone or tablet, whatever device you're using. You have to use those settings. There's no automatic way to do it. So again, this time it's not a plus sign, it's the circular arrow that most Bluetooth devices seem to have. You would hold that for about 3 seconds, let it flash, and connect to Bluetooth the way that you would with any other device. And then finally, there's a different wire. I don't have the correct wire. I'm going to reach out to Jeremy and make sure we get the correct wire here. But basically, it plugs into this microphone port, and then there's supposed to be an adapter piece so that you can plug the other side of the audio cable into your phone's charging port. And so what that will do is it will connect the microphone. So again, on the newer model, it's all done with this white cable. You might have to go through and do it through Bluetooth with the white cable, but you might not have to. It depends on if it's working. And then in the older model, you will definitely have to connect via Bluetooth, and then you'll need to use the black cable to connect to your device so that the microphone works. So that's how you link up your device to the Swivl. So that is all the information you need to be able to successfully set up your Swivl unit and sync it to your camera so that you can use it to record your lesson. The last thing I wanted to bring up is that you do have access to a website that has all of this information plus more. So on the Enter Your website, under the RE-3 tab, you will see a link called Swivl for Videos, and when you go to that link, you'll have access to policies and procedures and additional information about the Swivl unit that you might find helpful if you want more than what this video had to provide. And additionally, you will see a calendar that shows the current reservations for the Swivl unit, and there's also a form that you click to fill out to reserve your Swivl unit. Now, Paula will be explaining to you how that's going to work for this year, because that really depends on how many RE3s there are versus how many Swivl units there are available. So don't forget about that website. It has a lot of great information for you. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I am more than happy to answer any questions or walk you through something if needed. So my email is daniel.risher@perrylocal.org. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me if you need anything at all. And I'll leave you with this. I remember when I was in RE3, and there was a lot of great advice that Paula and the different mentors gave to me that really stuck with me, that I found to be so important. And some of the most important tips I was given is to not wait until the day of your lesson to bring out the Swivl unit, because it is something to get used to. There's a groove to it, and your kids have to get used to it. It's very strange to have basically a robotic camera following you around. So you want to make sure that you get it out. I remember I would take it out and I would pretend to record my kids. I wouldn't actually hit record. I would just let it follow us, because I had to train my class to not look at it, because I didn't want them looking at the camera instead of me. So that was probably the best tip I got, is don't wait until the day you want to record your lesson to bring it out. And then the other tip that I got is to make sure that you get the lighting correct, because I remember when I recorded, I had an issue with the lighting and it was very difficult to see what was on my smartboard, and I was still able to use the video, but I had to do a lot of extra work providing screenshots and artifacts to show what wasn't visible on my screen. And then my last tip is something else that I ran into, is you want to make sure you keep the names of your students private, which I think you already know. However, I didn't think about how I had names posted in different places in my room on different walls, and so depending on where your camera goes, there was a time where it shot to the side and it caught a glimpse of a student roster that had first and last names, and you just want to be careful about things like that. So again, you can feel free to email me at any time. I'm happy to help, and best of luck, guys. Have a great year. Bye.